When I think about grit, I have a particular patient that comes to mind. She came to my office after her parents found her one day, and she had ripped up her SAT math butt, and she was just in a state of agony.
She was done.
She was done. There was no better word for it than done. And her whole life, she had committed to not being good at big math. That was part of her mindset. So she got stuck in a loop around that. And as soon as we were able to start supporting her and moving into a new way of being present in her work, and as soon as she became curious and driven about where she was going, not about the numbers on the page, she was able to deep dive into the math and really succeed. And that right there at the age of 17 years old took her growing little brain and went from being completely done into a space of perseverance and grit.
Teaching high school Spanish for several years, I had a lot of different types of kids in my class. Some came from Spanish-speaking households where they really felt like they didn't need to study. And then I had the exact opposite. I had the kids who did not come from Spanish-speaking households, who felt that learning another language was the most daunting task ever. And so
that was me. That was me.
It was a lot of students. And so Spanish was always that class that nobody liked. I don't want to take Spanish. And that's what's so interesting to me about this particular slide. And I've heard these exact phrases being said to teachers, to myself, to peers. And it definitely is something that, as I said before, is just very limiting and paralyzing when it comes to trying to think about how much better you can be.
So students were given a two-part problem test in this study that we're showing here. And everybody failed the first problem. It was designed that way. They were given a problem that was beyond their skill set. And within that first failure, half of the students were given praise for being smart. Now, how often do we praise people for being smart? Fairly regularly. What this researcher found is that if we praised process, the children then who received the praise in regards to their strategy, their process, how they approach the problem, actually did better. When we start supporting the child and internalizing their capacity, it no longer becomes about the label, because that label can quickly flip from I am smart to I am stupid in the face of a challenge, such as the young woman I mentioned earlier.